was 70 years ago today at 7:55 in the morning, Hawaii time. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and drove the U.S. into World War II.
Tonight we tell you the story of one of the brave young men who survived that attack.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Well, it was right around breakfast time, and well, I was walking down the deck. I seen this plane come in. I seen the bombs dropping on Ford Island, and the hangars blowing up, and the plane flew right over my head. If it flew any lower, it would probably have hit me.
Roland Thomas, a then 18-year-old from Massachusetts, was like many young men that morning, unaware of the magnitude of what was about to take place.
Went down to the compartment. They said, "Yeah, you ought to come up here." I said, "Planes are coming in and they're bombing Ford Island."
As Japan's perfidious declaration of war, death and destruction unleashed on a nation at peace.
Thomas, now 89, wasn't even in uniform when he and his fellow comrades were given orders to man the battle stations by general quarters.
Battle station at that time was down in the after ammunition hole, which was to pass ammunition to the guns. And I sure passed a lot of ammunition to the guns.
As he remembers back to that very moment in time, fear wasn't even an option.
I think about when everything was over with, then yes, you were scared. But you were too busy to have time to be scared at that time.
Young Thomas was on a lower deck of the USS Perry DMS-17, a minesweeper.
Of course, below decks, you couldn't see much. You could hear it.
But at approximately 10 o'clock that same morning, when gunfire had stopped, the aftermath remained.
And when the attack was over, we were assigned to go in the harbor and sweep for mines. Got to see a little bit then, seen the Arizona and all of those at that time.
The USS Arizona, where more than 1,100 men lost their lives.
Never forget that.
3 years later, Roland's ship, built to sweep for mines, was actually destroyed by one. They were rescued by a nearby ship, only to be met by more enemy fire. He said that was the scariest part of the war that he experienced.
And he was watching, he said on the airfields, he was watching the bombs drop because they were trying to knock out our planes before we get our planes up and attack their bombers.
And he said that they weren't trained for Japan, they were trained for Germany.
Right.
So when they were seeing these planes come in with the big yellow circle or the big red circle, they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Most of our troops went to Europe instead of
Sure.
fighting the Japanese.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very interesting man.